Today, we're diving into the story of one of the most famous warriors from China's Three Kingdoms period, Zhao Yun. You might know him as Diao Zhulong, a name that's become legendary, a figure who's way more than just a historical person. He's a full-blown cultural icon.
This right here, this is the image of Zhao Yun that everyone pictures. A single warrior, completely unstoppable, almost a force of nature. This one scene from the Battle of Changban, especially how it's told in stories and novels, basically paints him as a god of war.
And you see this version of him everywhere. I mean, from the classic novel Romance of the Three Kingdoms all the way to modern video games like Dynasty Warriors or TV series, he's always the flawless hero, the absolute pinnacle of what a warrior should be.
So, that's what we're here to do today. We're going to try and peel back all those legend and literature to find the real person underneath. How do we separate the myth from the man who actually lived and breathed?
You know, the biggest challenge in finding the real Zhao Yun boils down to one simple thing. There just aren't that many historical records from his time. The actual history is a lot thinner than you'd probably guess.
So, what's with this number, 346? Well, that is the total number of Chinese characters in Zhao Yun's official biography, the one written in the Sangweiji, the main historical text for the era. That's it. It's shockingly brief.
So, you're probably wondering, where did all the incredible stories come from then? Well, they mostly came from this second source, the Zhao Yun Bizhuan. It's an unofficial biography that was added 200 years later as a side note to the main history. And this is the text that really fleshed out his story and gave us all those heroic tales that define him today.
Okay, let's go back to his most legendary moment, the Battle of Changban, because it's the perfect way to see this split between history and legend in action.
The scene is just one of pure desperation. Liu Bei's army is completely falling apart, he's in a full-on retreat, and things are so chaotic that his wife and his baby son get lost in the middle of it all. It is an absolute crisis.
Now, the legend, the one we all know from the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, turns this into an epic action movie. Zhao Yun, all by himself, just carves a bloody path through an entire army. He seems totally invincible, cutting down anyone in his way to save the baby Liu Shan.
But here's the thing. The real history is still incredibly heroic. Zhao Yun really did charge back into a battlefield that was swarming with enemies, and he successfully saved his lord's family. The bravery, the loyalty, that's all real. So the core event is true, but that superhuman kill count, that's the literary magic that turns a very brave soldier into an untouchable legend.
Now, because his most famous story involves protecting Liu Bei's family, a lot of people nowadays think of Zhao Yun or Zhu Zhulong as just a kind of high-level bodyguard. But oh man, his actual job was so much bigger than that.
Later on, Zhao Yun held the official title of Zhonghu Jun. This wasn't just a combat role. This was a position of enormous administrative power and trust, right at the very center of the government.
And this really shows you what his true status was. The Zhonghu Jun was in charge of the emperor's personal guards, sure, but he also had the job of picking out and promoting officers for the entire army. To get that job, you had to be seen as completely impartial, totally selfless, and incorruptible. He was basically the moral compass for the whole military.
And this reveals a side of him that just gets totally lost in all the action stories. Zhao Yun wasn't just a fighter, he was a strategic thinker who really understood politics and how to run a state.
A perfect example is what happened after they conquered Yizhu. All of Liu Bei's generals wanted to carve up the new territory and hand it out as rewards. But Zhao Yun was the one who stood up and said, wait a minute. He argued that winning over the hearts of the people who lived there was way more important. He said they should return the land to the locals to build stability and support. Liu Bei listened, and it was a moment of just incredible foresight.
So if the historical guy was this brave, wise, and super competent general, why did he become this invincible super warrior in our memory? What was it that fueled that transformation?
I think this really gets to the core of why he's so beloved. Think about it. Unlike the almost godlike intelligence of a strategist like Zhuge Liang, or the monstrous, inhuman strength of a warrior like Lu Bu, Zhao Yun's best qualities are things we can all understand: loyalty, courage, self-control. He feels like a hero you could actually strive to be like.
And his loyalty was different too. It wasn't that passionate, almost reckless blood brother oath that Guan Yu and Zhang Fei had. His was a professional, principled dedication to his leader and his country. That made him the perfect role model for a Confucian official, stable, reliable, serving a just cause, which was a huge deal back when the novel was being written.
And that's the ultimate contrast, isn't it?
The real Zhao Yun was an amazing general and a smart administrator who served with honor and died of old age. The Zhao Yun of legend is this eternal symbol of hope, the perfect hero who never loses, the long-winning general who can ride through any storm and come out the other side.
It really leaves us with a final thought. The story of Zhao Jun, of Dou Zhulong, it shows us that history isn't just about what happened. It's also about what we need to believe happened. And it makes you wonder, right? What are the qualities we look for in our heroes, and why do the legends sometimes become even more powerful than the truth?